How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here. Today, we're going to talk about The Flash, Season 6, Episode 14, titled Death of the Speed Force. This episode, Wally's back. Let's just start from the beginning. Wally's back. He's really zenned out. We first see him saving what I believe is 3 people from a crashing helicopter. They are, I believe, Russian. Not 100% certain on that, but yeah. I don't know why I said yeah. Anyway, Wally's back, then Cisco comes back, and Nash is freaking out over, you know, him seeing Sherlock Wells as the Reverse Flash. Because let's be real here, if any of us saw the Reverse Flash, we'd be freaking out. Um, but yeah, Wally. Let's start with Wally and why he's here. Wally is back not just to see his family, but also because he senses something wrong with the Speed Force. Uh, we're gonna get right into the nitty gritty bits of it. The Speed Force is dying, as what is at first believed to be because of blood work. It turns out no, it is because of when Barry took in Spectre's energy back during Crisis. It introduced energy that destabilized the Speed Force. Of course, when Wally finds out that Barry's responsible for the Speed Force's condition, Wally freaks out. He loses his zen on Barry because it's like, what did you do? You screwed up. Barry royally fucked up. He didn't do it on purpose. Obviously, we know this. It was Crisis. They needed to get. They needed to get going and whatnot. The Speed Force obviously doesn't blame him. We find this out when Barry goes in on his own into the Speed Force, using the Tachyon device, which, hey, I'm glad to see it's back. He goes and tries to figure out what happened. Like, he's asking the Speed Force, like, he just goes to apologize and, like, try and fix it. The whole guilt thing, it's all my fault. He did it with his mom, he did it with his dad, he did it with the Speed Force. Though, with the Speed Force, it did not involve time travel, thank goodness. But yeah, we find out now, of course, the villain of the week is Turtle 2.0. A Russian woman, Volkova is her last name, I believe. Maybe that's the girl who she killed. Um, no, Novikov. Frida Novikov, or Turtle 2. Uh, but yeah, so her powers are kind of like the original Turtle we had in, I believe, season 1, but enhanced. Greatly, greatly enhanced. To the point where she can stop you completely so that you rapidly age in a split second. You age like 100 years. Volkova was aged from whatever age she was to 110 years old. In an instant. So obviously, they have to stop her. Now, obviously, with the death of the Speed Force, because the Speed Force dies, both Barry and Wally are now on a limit of speed. Um, this means that they have to conserve their speed as much as possible in the fight with Frida to get her injected with the Velocity X drug that Caitlin made, even though Cisco tried to make it himself because he's feeling inadequate after going to Atlantis and other places that we don't really know. Although he looks like it came from like the outback in Australia, so maybe he went there as well. Um, but yeah, so we have that now. Uh, quickly, Nash Wells gets possessed by Eobard Thawne. after trying to get Cisco to help him. And so Cisco goes into, okay, let's help Nash. What Thawne tries to kill Cisco with the vibrating hand trick that he loves to do. We all know the little vibrating death stab thing that Thawne is a very big fan of. Of course, since he's in Nash's body, um, Thawne can't use the Speed Force. He doesn't have his connection to the negative Speed Force, which is apparently a thing as of last season. Um, I think it's always been a thing. Actually, I don't know what the comics. I don't know. I gotta stop vibrating my hand. So like, I'm not vibrating it that fast, but because of my camera's 30 FPS, it looks like I'm doing the same trick. It's actually pretty cool. Um, I discovered that on Skype. I mean, who uses Skype nowadays, right? But I did discover it while talking to a friend a long time ago on Skype that my hand actually looks like like Eobard's vibrations when I shake it a little bit. So hey, look, it's a little nifty thing for filler. But yeah, so Thawne tries to kill Cisco. He gets saved by Cecile. I believe it's Cecile, who and then they take him and put him in the pipeline. They show it to Barry and whatnot. Thawne does his usual spiel. Sorry, I don't know why. His usual thing, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you, Flash, and I'm gonna kill your family and your friends and all of that." You know, all the usual BS that comes out of Thawne's mouth. Like he's gonna fail. We all know this. And he tells Barry, "That's why I made my own. Yours is dead now, and there's nothing you can do." Now, of course, we've covered the Flash. We've covered what now. Cisco's girlfriend, who for the life of me I can't remember her name. She's is it listed here? Kamala. Kamala. I can't pronounce her last name, and I'm gonna butcher it if I try. Kamala is she takes a picture of quote unquote Iris and Wally. Now, of course, she tries to delete it apparently, but it doesn't delete for whatever reason. And so she like is like prismatic or some she has an effect to the image, and it shows that Iris isn't Iris. And fake Iris, because I forgot her name. I forgot her name. Eva. Eva McCulloch in Eva 2, as we'll call her. Eva 2 hits her with the mirror gun and sends Camilla to, or Camilla? I think it's Camilla. I'm pretty sure it's Camilla, and I've just been saying it wrong for the last like 6 times. Anyway, so Camilla to the mirror dimension with Iris and Eva 1. It turns out that when one Eva shakes, like, and is having like a mental breakdown of sorts, the other one does too, which we discovered this episode, so that was interesting. Um, but yeah, so things are starting to come to a head, and at the end of the episode, Wally tells Joe, "Look out for Iris, something seems off," as well as Barry asking Cisco and Caitlin to help him build an artificial speed force so he can get his speed back. Now, I don't I don't like the fact that they killed the speed force. I don't know how comic book accurate this is. I know supposedly the death of the Speed Force was like an arc in the comics and whatnot, but I feel like it was kind of unnecessary to do. Because then who's going to represent the artificial speed Force that they build? Right? Because we know we're getting a season 7, right? I think it's season 7. Yeah, season 7. We're getting a season 7. I'm pretty sure that was confirmed. We're getting like all the shows and whatnot back, except maybe Legends. But yeah, that's where the episode ends off. Honestly, I thought it was interesting. I thought the episode was interesting. I don't know why they decided to bring Death of the Speed Force into the show now of all times. I feel like they could have gone about it a different way. Obviously, maybe not actual death. Like I believe in the comics, it wasn't like a full death. It was more like its powers were like allocated to like several different forces, Still Force, etc. I don't actually know all of them. I just know the Still Force offhand. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section down below. Now, if you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're new, I will see you guys next time. And as always, stay bright.